Knicks family, what's poppin'? Is your boy. Well, the Knicks have traveled to Portland, and they will be taking on the Trailblazers as they try to snap a 9-game losing streak under interim head coach Mike Miller. Can they do it? Will they do it? We'll see. Obviously, we're all looking for some changes from interim head coach Mike Miller. We're looking to see ways that he can improve the Knicks both defensively, offensively, the way that they approach the game, their mindset to the game. We've seen a better showing against the Indiana Pacers just a couple of days ago. The Knicks lost to the Pacers with 0.1 seconds left on the clock as Julius Randle missed a game-tying free throw. Obviously, the entire game didn't come down to Julius Randle missing the free throw. But the free throws, those free throws, like my man City for Real has been saying for weeks, since the beginning of the season, those free throws have come back to bite us in the tush on more than one occasion. And it came back to bite us against the Indiana Pacers. Hopefully, I don't know what Mike Miller's done about the free throws. We're going to hear from Mike Miller a little bit later in the show. But hopefully he's done something, or he's helping the guys work on making those free throws and learning how to make those free throws in the clutch. All right. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you see, right? I got my coaching gear on because when I leave, when I'm done here, I'll be done about 3 o'clock, maybe even sooner. But when I'm done here, I'm heading straight to a basketball game, right? So, yes, I'm in my coaching gear, uniform, all that good stuff. So if the colors don't match, what can I do about it? You know what I mean? I got to do what I do when I'm doing it for TV. Let's get to this breakdown, ladies and gentlemen. Talk about the Knicks and the Portland Trailblazers. Let's rock with it, folks. That's the jig. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks play the Trailblazers tonight at 10 p.m. as they begin a West Coast trip. And yeah, that's a late game. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's a late game. But I'm pretty sure we're all going to stay up to watch the game. And yes, I will be on after the game. Even though it's going to be late, it's going to be 12:30 in the morning, I'll be on. So if you'll be on, I'll be on. We'll be on together. Sleepy, tired tomorrow morning. The Knicks, ladies and gentlemen, are 4-19 on the season, which is the reason that Coach Fizdale's been fired. But anyway, we're not going to talk about Coach Fizdale. We're done with that. It's past. It's in the past. It's in the past. The Knicks are 4-19. The Portland Trailblazers, a team that went to the Western Conference Finals last season, it's 9-15. They lost some ingredients. You know, so many people don't understand the importance of some of those smaller pieces on a team. You know, the guys that go out there and rebound the basketball. The guys that go out there and scrape up their knees. The guys that go out there and fight for all the loose balls. You know, people discount those players. But when you got those kind of players on the team, man, that's what makes it stick. That's what makes your team better. But anyway, let's take a look at the starting lineups, the projected starting lineups. For the New York Knicks, it's Frank Ntilikina, R.J. Barrett, Marcus Morris, Julius Randle, and Taj Gibson. Now, understand, ladies and gentlemen, these are projected lineups. So between now and the game tonight, things could change. All right, things could change. I don't expect them to change, but you just never know. That's the way the NBA works. Okay? That's the way that the NBA works. Now, for the Portland Trailblazers, Your projected starters are Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, Kent Bazemore, Carmelo Anthony, and Hassan Whiteside. The injury report for both teams, for the Knicks, Reggie Bullock, he has a neck problem. He's had a neck problem for a while. And for the Portland Trailblazers, Rodney Hood, he's dealing with a sore Achilles. And Nurkic, he's dealing with a lower left leg. He's been out the entire season. Now, for the Knicks, Wayne Ellington has been released. It was released yesterday. Well, I'm sorry. It was released a few days ago. We don't know if he's going to be back or not. But Wayne Ellington was also out with a sore left Achilles against the Indiana Pacers. We'll see if he makes it back for tonight's game. And I'm interested to see, because if he does make it back, I want to see how Mike Miller uses Wayne Ellington, if he uses Wayne Ellington. Okay? So once again, for the Knicks, Frank Ntilikina, R.J. Barrett, Marcus Morris, Julius Randle, and Taj Gibson. And for the Portland Trailblazers, Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, Kent Bazemore, Carmelo Anthony, and Hassan Whiteside. Take a look at the team comparison, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks, they're on a 9-game losing streak. They're trying to avoid the 10th loss in a row. By all means, I hope that they can avoid that 10th loss in a row. They average 100.6 points per game. They give up 111 points per game. They shoot 42.1% from the field, 35.6% from three. They grab 45.4 rebounds per 44.5 rebounds per game. Excuse me. They average 20 assists per game and 14.9 turnovers per game. The offensive rating is 102. That's 30th in the league, last in the league. And their defensive rating is slipping. Continues to slip. And it could slip again tonight. Their defensive rating is 112.5. That's 24th in the league. For the Portland Trailblazers, again, they're 9-15. They're on a 2-game losing streak. They average 112.7 points per game. They give up 115.4 points per game. Their field goal percentage, they average, they shoot it at 45% from the field. They shoot 36.2% from three. They grab 46.3 rebounds per game. They average 20.1 assists per game and 13.5 turnovers per game. This is an ISO team as well. But guys like Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum, they play some ISO basketball. And Carmelo Anthony, they play some isolation basketball. Their offensive rating is 109.3. That's 10th in the league. And their defensive rating is 111.8. That's 22nd in the league. The Knicks got to take advantage of that, because it's the first time in a while that we've played a team that doesn't have a good defense. Key matchups for the night. Damian Lillard versus Frank Ntilikina. Can Frank Ntilikina stay in front of Damian Lillard? We'll talk about that when we talk about our keys to the game. But Damian Lillard, 6'2", 195, is point guard. He's averaging 26.7 points per game, 4.6 rebounds per game, 7.4 assists, and 1 steal per game. He shoots the ball at 44.3% from the field and 35% from three. Frank Ntilikina, he's on the opposite end of the spectrum from Damian Lillard. All right, Frank is 6'7", 200 pounds. He's a guard/forward. He averages 6.4 points per game, 2.1 rebounds per game, 3.4 assists per game, and 1.3 steals per game. He shoots it at 38.3% from the field and 35.2% from three. Now, Frank Ntilikina's job is to be a defensive specialist. You know this. We all know this. Can he deal with Damian Lillard? That's the question. Right? Because Damian Lillard is a baller. He balls. He may not shoot the best percentage from the field, 44.3, or from three, 35%. It's okay. He gets it done when he has to get it done. The big shot dude. We need Frank Ntilikina to be on Damian Lillard without switching. We'll talk about that. C.J. McCollum versus R.J. Barrett. That's the next key matchup. McCollum is 6'3", 190 pounds. He's a guard. He averages 22 points a game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 3.8 assists, and just under a steal per game. He shoots the ball at 44.7% from the field and 38.7% from three. Let's not let this guy get loose from the three-point line. RJ Barrett, he's got his work cut out for him because CJ McCollum is a crafty player, a crafty scorer. Okay? So RJ Barrett has definitely got some work cut out for him in dealing with CJ McCollum. RJ Barrett, he's 6'6", 214, guard/forward. He averages 14.3 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, 3.3 assists per game, and 0.5 blocks per game. And actually, that should have been steals per game. My mistake. His field goal percentage is 39.5% from the field, and he shoots 31% from three. All right, that is your guy, our rookie, RJ Barrett, ladies and gentlemen. Now, RJ Barrett, he's crafty himself. The one thing I like about this matchup is that RJ Barrett is also going to make CJ McCollum work. All right, he's going to make him work. That's, and that's different than what's going to happen with Damian Lillard and Frank Ntilikina. Okay? Frank Ntilikina is not going to make Damian Lillard work as much because he's not an offensive guy. We know that about Frank. But RJ Barrett is going to make CJ McCollum work some. RJ Barrett's going to take the ball to the basket, especially if he gets hot. CJ McCollum's really going to have to guard him. And that's a good thing. You want guys that can score the basketball, you want them to have to work on the defensive end of the floor. Right? Because if they work on the defensive end of the floor, hopefully you're burning out those legs a little bit. So when it comes to the fourth quarter, they're not as fresh as usual. All right, so that should be a good matchup. I think that's going to be a good matchup for RJ Barrett. All right. I think RJ Barrett will do a good job on CJ McCollum. I'm not saying that he's going to stop him. Not saying he's going to stop him. I'm just saying he'll do a good job defending and playing against CJ McCollum. I like that matchup. I'm looking to have some fun watching that matchup. All right, let's take a look at the keys to the game. Some of the keys, my keys to the game, ladies and gentlemen. They got to match the energy you showed against Indiana. They got to match that energy. All right, hopefully, Julius Randle said maybe this is a turning point. Let's hope that it is a turning point. Let's hope that it is, because if you're going to beat Portland, and they're beatable, because they don't have a very good defense, they're beatable, you got to match that energy. Defensively, limited switching. We cannot come out and switch against CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard all night long. If we do that, I think we'll be in trouble. All right? You got two guards, Frank Ntilikina and RJ Barrett. Frank Ntilikina, who is sooner or later going to be an elite defensive guard if he's not already, and RJ Barrett, who is very good defensively. There's no reason to switch off. No reason. Because if you switch off with those guys, you're going to get Damian Lillard defended by Julius Randle or defended by Taj Gibson. That's not a good look. Same thing with CJ McCollum. If we switch, they're going to abuse those guys. Now, to his credit, under Mike Miller, we've seen less switching against Indiana. We've seen guys fighting over those screens a little bit better. Or at least a little bit more. I want to see the same thing tonight versus the Portland Trailblazers. It's really going to be important versus the Trailblazers because they have two very good guards. Two very good guards, and if you switch on those guys, you're going to be in trouble. Now, speaking of them having two good guards, we got to help on Lillard and CJ McCollum. Inevitably, those guys are going to get past RJ Barrett. CJ McCollum will get past Barrett. Damian Lillard, he'll get past Frank Ntilikina. Right? It's going to happen. You got to be able to help. You need help side, and then you got to have somebody helping the helper. It's the way defense works. The way it happens. All right, so we're going to need help. So everyone's got to be alert. Frank Ntilikina and R.J. Barrett, they're going to need to trust that their teammates have their back so that they can play aggressive defense. Because here's the thing. If they don't trust that their teammates have their back, then they won't play defense as aggressive. And if they don't play defense as aggressive, then you're going to give them comfortable shots on the perimeter. You're going to let these guys get comfortable on the perimeter. You're going to let these guys be able to shake you up a little bit because you don't have much pressure defense. If you trust, because when you play pressure defense, you're going to get beat. It's going to happen. But if you trust that your guys got your back, then you can pressure up a little bit because you know someone's going to help you until you recover. Right? Then you don't let these guys get comfortable. That's all we can ask. And guarding these two, don't let them get comfortable. Don't let them get to their spots easy. Take advantage of a weaker defense. Listen, the last 3 games, we played the number 2, number 3, number 10 defense in the league. We get a break. These guys are number 22, the 22nd best defense in the league. So we get a little bit of a break. Let's take advantage of it. This is a time when we can really try to execute our offense. Because we're probably not going to get as jammed up as we have against some of those other teams. Played some tough teams with good defenses. Milwaukee, Denver, Indiana, tough defenses. Milwaukee was 3rd in the league at the time. Denver was 2nd in the league at the time. And Indiana was 10th or something like that. They might have been better. But they were a top 10 defense. So let's take advantage of a weaker defense. Ball movement. We got to keep the ball moving. Make them work on defense. Their defense is not good. So that doesn't mean go ISO. That means move the ball even better. Continue to move that ball. Keep them moving because obviously they give up 115 points per game. You move the ball, you're going to find some holes in their defense. You're going to get some easy buckets at the basket. That's what I'm looking to see. Keep the ball moving. Man movement. And pay attention. Pay attention. Mike Miller's going to use some triangle action. He used it. You pay attention at some points in the game versus Indiana, you seen a triangle on one side of the floor, and then you seen a screen being set for the wing player on the other side of the floor. Now, I'm not saying that he's going full out triangle. I'm just saying he's using some actions. He's using some action. He's a system type of guy. So I'm pretty sure he likes systems. We'll see if he's here next year to really implement a system. But for now, you're going to get to see bits and pieces of what he can do. Do not fall in the ISO ball. This game could be close, I think. I think this could be a close game. Even though they do have guys that can light it up, and C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard, I think it can be a close game because they're not good defensively. But those guys with Melo as well, those 3 guys, they're going to play a lot of ISO basketball. The Trailblazers only average 20 assists per game, like the Knicks. So I don't want the Knicks to fall into that ISO basketball. I mean, they already play ISO basketball. We're trying to break the mold. Mike Miller's going to be trying to break those habits. But this is a team that if you don't want to play like them, because if you're playing like them, then you're playing ISO. So you don't want to fall into that ISO ball type of thing. Don't worry about personal battles. Let's just play basketball, try to play a team game. Try to play a team game. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I want to thank you guys for being here. Hopefully the Knicks will be able to break this 9-game losing streak tonight. They can avoid this 10-game losing streak. But I appreciate you guys for being here. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. You'll be notified when I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. If you're on Sportscaster, follow me on Sportscaster. You can also come on over and follow me on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, follow me on Sportscaster. The link is right in the description of this video. All right, so you can follow me. Also, for those who, most of you guys that's on here already know, but if you don't know, or if you haven't signed up yet, I have a brand new membership platform. So make sure you check out the membership platform. All right, there's a lot of cool things in there, things that you'll have access to, exclusive videos, exclusive events just for members, stuff like that. So if you're interested, I am going to put the link right here in the YouTube chat. And you can become a member. You can check it out, check out the tiers. And if you're interested, become a member. And if not, it's all good. Right? It's all good. You're still going to get the same thing that you've been getting. All right? You're still going to get the same thing that you've been getting and more. And what you can do, you can click on that link, or you can look down at the bottom of your video and you'll see a little button that says join. You can click on that link and join right now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a listen to Mike Miller. You heard, and I'm going to go over it again before I get out of here. You've seen and you heard what my keys to the game are, and you've seen some of the numbers broken down. Let's take a listen to Mike Miller. See what he's thinking about the game. See how he's feeling about the game. All right. And, this would be one of the first, this for me at least, is the first time that I've heard him speak before the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is New York Knicks interim head coach, Mike Miller. Let's take a listen.
Well, without divulging anything, as we go into it, we were working on some things. We were working on the things that we need to do and really get a good feel and, continue to work with our, the consistency of how we play possession to possession. That's what our focus is.
How receptive have they been to this change? And it's a different voice.
These guys are pros. These guys have been great.
Have you decided yet what you'd like to change, I guess? Keeping in your not wanting to divulge secrets thing, but are you able to say what you do want to change, what you want to make your own, I guess?
Well, we've really started in real simple terms that we just want to be better at doing what we're doing every possession. So it's just, really getting to those things and sticking to it. Not worried about a big, broad range of things, but let's really lock in these areas where we've shown that we can be pretty good, and let's do it for long stretches.
Is that one of the themes, the ball movement? Because David would talk about ball movement like the entire season. Is that something that's a theme?
I think it is probably with every team. I think every team's always searching for that because it just creates different things within the offense. Doesn't matter really what you do. So it's more of the concept. It's not really what we're doing, how we're doing it kind of thing, But when the ball moves, it improves everything.
Well, Julius had some, ups and downs and struggles with turnovers and things like that. How do you see him kind of evolving in the way you guys use him over the course of the season and what his role would be?
I think he has really, really played well, and I couldn't even how many games we go back. He's been really effective and played really well. I was really excited for him how he played on Saturday. Loved the energy and the plays and all the different things that he did. I thought he played really well.
At the risk of trying to read into things, but you guys seem to run a lot more pick and roll Saturday than you have this season on average. Is that something you want to run more pick and rolls or do more of that type of thing?
Yeah, to be honest, I couldn't even tell you if there's a number or if we really did. I'm not sure. Maybe it looked more like that. I really don't know.
But Synergy had you guys at 55 pick and rolls, and then for the season you were averaging like 30 something.
Okay. Games are different. The coverages, you look at Indiana and where they are really good. They're winning the game, the number one field goal percentage team defending the rim. So you've got to move those guys around, and I don't know, maybe it was just the game that we got wrong.
Was obviously foul shot have been an issue this season for you guys? Are you doing anything different to try to rectify that problem?
Coaches have worked on free throw shooting since, the beginning of time.
But there are different techniques. No?
Yeah, there's different things you can do, and you try different things. And, the bottom line is guys getting comfortable and stepping up there and, doing what they're doing. We've got guys that throughout their careers, they're scorers and they've made free throws. And so, you go, how a season goes. You go through some things sometimes. I've coached guys over the years that maybe don't get off to a great start, and then you look at the second half of the season when you see a big break in the first half of the second half. And that's what we're trying to do with everything. We want to just, every team that we've ever been a part of, that's how we do it. We want to be better as we go.
I haven't got a chance to see what Carmelo's done. Does he look like Carmelo to you, like the guy who's a year out of the league?
He scores the ball. Yeah, I've watched a couple of games, a few games, I guess, and he's scoring the ball. He still presents the same problems for a defense that he always has.
Anything you want to see? I mean, RJ obviously had a great start. His shooting percentages have dipped a little bit. Anything you want to maybe unlock with RJ, or want to see more of or less of?
He has been so good about coming in and getting his work in, and how he approaches every game. Been so impressed with his maturity as a young guy, as a rookie. I think part of this is just the experience of going through it and seeing different coverages and playing against a different guy, getting used to all the things at the NBA. There's only so many things you can do to get him ready, and then he has to go experience it. I think he's done a great job handling those things.
How has he been with, obviously there's more information about him now, more games for teams to evaluate him. How has he been with making the adjustments to kind of counteract what they're trying to do?
I think good. I think he studies it. He wants to see those things, and that's why he's been so fun to work with, because he wants to get better. He sees those things, and he's approaching each game knowing it may be something different.
You healthy now, and all 3 point guards available to you. Do you have an idea of how you want to, juggle the minutes between them, and how you want to use those 3 guys?
Yeah, it's still gonna, we're fortunate from the standpoint that all of those guys have things they bring to the table that they're very good at. So based on the game, the game the other night, there was no plan to play it the way that we played it. That was the way the game dictated it, and that's what we did. So that's kind of where we're going to go. We would assume going in we're getting off to good starts, so we're not going to change that part of it. With Frank leading it, and then beyond that we'll see how the game goes. But we're confident in all the guys and know we can use them.
Did you have the challenge in the G League?
We did.
Okay, so you're used to it.
Yeah, we had it it's been around for a few years. So
do you feel very comfortable knowing when? And
we've kind of gone through it. I think even some of the data early that I've seen from the NBA is maybe a little different than what it was in the G League with how people have used it.
Okay.
So I think you use it when you are sure that you saw that play, and more so when you need to. Maybe it changes momentum. Maybe it saves a foul on a guy that didn't foul. Maybe it takes a basket away. You try to use it where it's going to be advantageous. My experience with that is, I think on average last year in the G League, it was like every third game that the coach used a challenge, so it wasn't like it happens every game.
They're using it more here.
What's that?
I think they're using it more in the NBA then.
Yeah, maybe. And people use them earlier. In the G League, they didn't use them that early. They were saving them till later. So does it impact the game? Does it impact your team? I think that's how you try to use it. There's probably different philosophies, and I've read all the comments on it. It's been interesting because we've been doing it for probably 4 years,
The way rules are, Indy couldn't challenge in the final second there.
Say that again?
Indy couldn't have challenged the foul call, right?
On the Randall.
The final 2 minutes. You can't challenge in the final 2 minutes.
You can challenge a foul in the final 2 minutes.
They didn't challenge the Randall?
Did they
use it already?
I don't think so.
No, they didn't. There was no challenge.
Wow.
You have to make this.
And you have to do it quickly. And so, and again, if you didn't see it, did they have a timeout? That's another thing.
That was the other thing they have to have.
Because otherwise it made no sense not to challenge.
Well,
They may not have had a timeout because it was at the end. And saved it. It was different, and they might have saw an angle maybe that there was contact. Why waste it if it goes to overtime? We'll save it for overtime. So,
Mike Miller, ladies and gentlemen. Here's one thing, a big difference that I see from Mike Miller, between Mike Miller and David Fizdale. Mike Miller seems to be very in tune to the statistics of a game, recognizing another team's strengths and weaknesses, and how to capitalize against it. Now, it's hard for me to say whether or not Coach David Fizdale did that because you didn't hear it that much in the press conferences, right? You didn't hear him talk about a team's percentage at this or that, maybe every once in a while. But Mike Miller seems to just be part of who he is and what he does, to really recognize the team's strengths and weaknesses and how do we capitalize on it. Because sometimes if you're a good coach, you can even capitalize on a team's strengths. I mean, I tell you what, in AAU, I do it all the time. We play against somebody who has a guard that's really good at going to the basket and really good at scoring. And I tell my guard to pressure up on that guard because if you pressure on that guard, he's going to go back to his instincts and try to score the basketball every single time down the floor. And lo and behold, that's what they do. And then they shut off everybody else on the team. Right? So I just used his strength against him. Mike Miller strikes me as that kind of a coach just from the things that he says. Also, peeping there, you did hear that he said he likes the way the team has been starting. He's going to continue to start Frank Ntilikina at point guard. At least until the time being. If something changes, it changes. But that's what he's going to do for now. I'm interested to see how he works the rotation of Frank Ntilikina, Dennis Smith Jr., and Elfrid Payton. Now that Elfrid Payton is back off of injury. I'm also interested to see if in due time, if Alonzo Trier starts to get some burn in lieu of maybe Dennis Smith Jr. or Wayne Ellington. It's going to be based on what Mike Miller wants to do and how he wants to play the game. It's going to be based on those things, on who he uses, when he uses them, how he uses them. I did like, what he said is, as far, talking about Elfrid Payton playing down the stretch against Indiana, he said that's what the game dictated. That's what the game gave us. So that's what we went with. Each game is going to be different. Every game is going to have its own story. So that's what there you go. Big shout out to my man Rare Form. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Rare Form just became a member of the 90s Knicks. So big shout out to you. So I'm interested. I like hearing Mike Miller. I don't feel like he's selling me something, selling me a story. He strikes me as a guy who is very nice, but how do I want to say it? He's nice, but he's also strict. He's the kind of guy that's like, listen, man, you did everything right. You did this, you did that, but you didn't do this. So we got to make this change. There's nothing I can do about it. And then go on with it. That's what I feel from him. And I don't feel like he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that feels bad about it. He's probably not a screamer, a hollerer, or a yeller, but he's more of a tactician, it seems like to me. We'll see as we go forward. I also want to hear from R.J. Barrett, ladies and gentlemen. See what R.J. Barrett is feeling about this game. He's matching up against C.J. McCollum. It's a good matchup for him. You also got guys like Carmelo Anthony there. Some of you guys are probably wondering why I didn't have Carmelo Anthony in one of my key matchups. I wasn't going to put him there just because he's Carmelo Anthony. Obviously he's a storyline to the game, but he'll be a bigger storyline when the Portland Trailblazers come to Madison Square Garden. That's when you're going to have a bigger storyline, about Carmelo Anthony coming to the Garden. With Melo, it's just going to be Julius Randle's got to guard him. Not going to kill Julius Randle with speed. It's not going to kill him with talent. It's going to shoot mid-range jump shots. Julius Randle got to be able to stay in front of that. Right, that'll be a matchup. You've seen those two guys play one-on-one over the summer. Right, that'll be a matchup to watch. It should be a fun matchup. Let's listen to R.J. Barrett, though, because, R.J. Barrett wants to be mentioned in the likeness of guys like Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, and Carmelo Anthony. Let's listen to R.J. Barrett, ladies and gentlemen.
When he was young, he would stand up.
Yeah. I got old legs now.
So do you feel a difference with Mike and the practice these last 2 days with Mike running it and stuff?
I mean, he's a different guy, so of course it's going to be a little different. But we're just trying to stick together and really just lock in on the defensive end.
I mean, it looked like you had different strategy against Indiana with the pick and roll, not switching as much.
Yeah.
Is that something that you think is going to continue on with? Maybe trying to fight through some more picks.
Yeah, I'm sure. Just try to fight through picks and try not to give up anything easy.
What I mean, I know it's been a few days now, but are you still okay with what had transpired? I mean, is it tough for the team to respond to what happened? I mean, how?
It's tough. I think we responded great the other night in the game. Played a real good game. Tough at the end, but played a real good game overall. And like I said, this is a business. We're pros. It's tough what happened, but we still have a whole season to go. We gotta move on and gotta keep getting better.
And has Mike talked to you individually about possibly unlocking some things that maybe weren't happening on the offensive end for you? Or what message has he given to you?
We spoke. He just told me to continue to do what I've been doing out there as much as he can and try to help us out on offense and defense, really just to lock in collectively. But that's it.
Did you see the statue when you walked in?
Yeah, I've already been here before.
Oh, this is yeah.
I've already been here. Nothing new. Oh no, this is nothing new. I've already been here. This is my place. This is home.
So you would, because you're a Puma guy though.
Yeah.
But
I'm not talking about Puma. I'm talking about Duke.
No. But so did Coach K bring you guys here?
No, when I played in the Hoop Summit, we practiced here.
Oh, okay.
So I was with Iggy and we practiced here.
Right.
You're saying Mike is a different guy. What's the difference about them? How are they?
I don't really know. I don't really know exactly the words to describe it, but just two different kind of styles, two different kind of ways to coach.
The offense was more consistent all 4 quarters. What really is the biggest difference in the game that maybe you can apply to the next one?
The way we played the whole game, just playing free, moving the ball. That's what we gotta do every day. When we play like that, you see, we give ourselves a chance to win. So we have to keep doing that.
First time through the league, obviously. What's it like when you go up against a guy like Dame for the first time?
I'll let you know tomorrow night.
But do you get starstruck? Like these are guys you probably grew up watching and all that stuff.
Nah, I mean, if I really think about it, I'm here just like them. I work hard just like them. Of course they're great caliber players, but I'm trying to be a player like that one day. So. Yeah.
Did you guard Carmelo?
Sorry?
Did you guard Carmelo during those?
Nah, we were on the same team.
Oh, wait.
On the same team.
So do you guys work well together? I mean,
He can score, I can tell you that. Yeah, for sure. Going up against them tomorrow is gonna be great. These games I've kind of been looking forward to growing up, so it's gonna be a lot of fun, especially for me.
Obviously, that was recorded yesterday, but does anybody, and I think I seen somebody in the
Sam
chat
Adams
mention it,
encourages
in the
everyone
YouTube
to
chat
toast
mention
someone.
it. Does anybody get the feeling that R.J. Barrett, and I think Greenhouse just mentioned it, and maybe some other people, that's the only person that I saw, but anybody get the feeling that R.J. Barrett is not too concerned about Coach Fizdale being let go? I don't know what the relationship was like or not like, but I feel like he's not as worried about Coach Fizdale being fired. Everyone else is kind of like, yeah, Coach was my guy. I really like Coach Fizdale. He's going to be part of us forever. RJ's kind of like, it's tough, but we got to keep moving. I don't know. I feel like from the coaching tree that RJ Barrett, I don't want to say the coaching tree that he comes from the coaches that he's had in the past before David Fizdale, Mike Miller is going to be more in tune to those type of guys. That's what I feel like. I feel like he's going to be more in tune to, like, he's going to be used to what Mike Miller does than what Coach Fizdale does, because Mike Miller is probably more like his previous coaches. Yeah, Guillermo, exactly. You said, I think they think Fizz was a good guy but was not a good coach. See, I agree with that, because they all talked about how he was a good guy. Right? They really liked Coach Fizdale. You heard Dennis Smith Jr. say, that was like losing a brother. But you know what? It shouldn't be like losing a brother. It should be like losing a coach. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like losing a brother. That was the issue. That was the biggest issue to me. The biggest issue with David Fizdale. You can't be like a friend or a brother with these guys. You got to be a coach. That's what I think Mike Miller's going to be. You know what I'm saying? He may not relate to those guys the same way that Coach Fizdale related to him. Culturally. May not relate to him that way, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, it may make them look at him in a different light. Because he doesn't have that same, he doesn't relate on that level. They might look at him more as a coach than a friend. Now, it doesn't mean that because Mark Jackson could probably relate on that level as well, but the things that he'll demand from them would make them look at Mark Jackson as a coach. Jerry Stackhouse, the same way. That was Fizdale's issue, man, to me, these guys. Got about 10 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a call. All right, if you want to get your 2 cents in on tonight's game versus the Portland Trailblazers. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Tim, what's going on, my man?
What's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
Doing good, man. Now, listen, it's been a long time I haven't called you, man. But let me tell you this, right? Before hello?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, yeah. Before I get to what I was saying, by the way, happy late holidays to you, man. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was great, man. Appreciate it. How was yours?
Mine was great. Now, to get back to what I was saying, I think Fizz was a great guy. I don't say I don't like him, but I feel like the main reason why they brought him here was to try to recruit guys like LeBron and them, AD, and it didn't work out. So now when you look at this, I feel like in my right mind that Fizdale was, to me, it's not all his fault, but you got to understand how many coaches this team is going to go through, and then next thing you know, it's still the same problem. If you look at the list, look at how many coaches they had, and they had a failing season. Only one coach I could say that made it to the playoff maybe twice under them was Mike Woodson. But Fizdale, I don't say I have to blame 100% on Fizdale because he didn't have the players. But at the same time, for us to lose badly, it costs your job. You get what I'm saying, Tim?
Mm-hmm. Nah, I get what you're saying. So
now I feel like Mike Miller, give him a shot. I don't know. It's too early right now. And if you're looking at a next coach, because I think Jeff Van Gundy knows the game very well. And if you're talking about firing somebody else, I think you gotta go Steve Mills. You understand? Because to tell you the truth, how many coaches you're gonna go through and it's still the same problem.
No, I feel you. And I think that I feel you there. And I think Steve Mills is going to be relocated. That's what I think. And I just think he's going to be relocated
so Sim, look at
to
the
another
list.
part of the
Look at the
Garden.
list. Now, what I'm telling you, I'm not making this stuff up. This is real stuff. Isaiah Thomas, Steph Hornacek. Well, after 2 seasons, Mike Woodson. Even though the way they did Mike Woodson, pretty the 2013-2014 season, I think that was kind of unfair. Well, Mike D'Antoni was the worst one. I could say that was the worst one. Like the list just goes on and on and on and on. But then again, it's still the same problem. Now I can guarantee you have Mike Miller here, it's still going to be the same problem. Then you go to get another coach, still the same problems. You want to know why? It's because you got to have the players. Got to have the players, and the front office mindset got to be on point. Got to hire the right person at Steve Mills' position who knows how to recruit players. If he knows how to recruit players, at least try. You understand? Now I understand you tried with Kevin Durant, and then you tried with Kyrie, and you didn't get them. I understand that, but at least make New Yorkers see that you're trying. But I think the next person to be out is Steve Mills. Thanks for taking my call, Sim, and have a blessed Christmas if I don't hear from you.
All right, man. I appreciate you. You too. Have a blessed one yourself. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that if James Dolan can get Masai Ujiri, Steve Mills is going to be gone. He probably should be gone. Not probably. He should be gone regardless. Now, do I think that James Dolan is going to fire him from Madison Square Garden? No. I mean, he might relocate him, move him to another part of Madison Square Garden or whatever it is, something like that. I do not think he's just going to fire him. You know, he's no longer working at the Garden. I mean, look at Isaiah Thomas. Still working at the Garden, or at least he was, whatever. Worked there for, you know. That's what I think would happen. Who knows? I'm pretty sure they're going to give him until the end of the season. And I'm hoping that they're going to give Mike Miller into the end of the season as well. You know what I mean? I got time for a couple more phone calls, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a call, 516-405-2246. I'd like to hear your opinion. On tonight's game versus the Portland Trailblazers. Again, the Knicks play the Portland Trailblazers tonight at 10 p.m. It is a late one. They're on a West Coast trip, ladies and gentlemen. They're on a West Coast trip, and this is a winnable West Coast trip. Does that mean that the Knicks will win? It does not. But it is winnable. The Portland Trailblazers, they play tonight. That's winnable, folks. All right, that's winnable for the Knicks. Portland Trailblazers do not have a good defense. They are, they got a good offense, but their defense isn't good at all. Their defense is ranked 22nd in the league. Over the past 3 games, we played the third best defense in Milwaukee, the second best defense in Denver. Then we played a top 10 defense in Indiana. We got blown out the first 2, at least where Indiana was close. All right, you take a look at their upcoming schedule. The Knicks, maybe, and of course, teams do this all the time. They fire a coach, just in time for them to play some favorable teams. Take a look at what's coming up over the next few games. The Knicks play the Portland Trailblazers tonight, and tomorrow night they play the Golden State Warriors. All right, the Golden State Warriors are a terrible team right now. Although they have more wins than the Knicks, they're still a terrible team. The Sacramento Kings, the Knicks play the Sacramento Kings after they play the Golden State Warriors. Then you play the Nuggets. Obviously, the Nuggets blew us out. Then we play the Atlanta Hawks, right? And then you see the Miami Heat. But I'm stopping at the Hawks. So over the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, at least 4 of those games are winnable. Is it possible that the Knicks can go on a little mini streak here? Maybe tie together some wins. Make Mike Miller look good. Make Mike Miller look good. Is it possible that they can do it? I hope so. hopefully we can tie together a few wins, get some energy back with the fans, Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, man, it's Dwayne.
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So tell me, you think the Knicks can get a win tonight?
I think it's gonna be tough because it's a mellow revenge game, a Zonia revenge game. They're gonna come out hard, but Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum. But I really like what Mike Miller's doing, man. I think he's got the defense kind of figured out, fixed with the whole switching thing. They're cutting down on the switching. I think basically we definitely have a chance. We have a chance on this West Coast trip for sure.
Okay. All right. But definitely, like you said, with the switching, and tonight's going to be important. It's going to be important that they don't do a lot of switching tonight because you're dealing with Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum. It is important that you don't do a lot of switching tonight.
And then the early foul trouble with Frank, that has to not happen tonight as well, too.
Yeah, hopefully. The good thing is if that happens, you got Alfred Payton who can also play some defense. He's probably not the defender that Frank Ntilikina is, but he can play some defense. You definitely need to, not have Frank Ntilikina get into foul trouble.
To be honest with you, I'm really worried about Randall getting lit up by Melo, man.
Listen, I'm going to tell you what. They played some one-on-one and did some working out over the summer, and you better believe that Melo knows what he can and can't do against Julius Randle. Melo's smart. Melo's smart. He's a gifted offensive player. He knows what he can and can't do against Julius Randle, and I'm pretty sure he knows, where he can score against Julius Randle. So it'll depend on if Melo is hot or not. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he's been hot, bro.
Yeah.
He's been hot. I mean, he's not been super hot, but he's been
not been super hot. Last game, I think.
Right?
Yeah, I think last game he had 9 points. He shot about 22% from the field. So we need that Melo to show up tonight. That's the Melo we need to show up tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
all right,
thanks for having my call, man. I'll love to call back again another day. So.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Have a good one.
All right, man. Good luck to the Knicks. Yeah.
Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm almost down to the end of the show. Apologize. I couldn't take a whole lot of calls, but, it is what it is. I do have Andy in the chat. I'm going to get to him shortly. But what I want to do before I get there, for those who were just joining me, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Hopefully, you're coming down to the end of your work day and you get a chance to relax a little bit. Talk some Knicks. If you're new to this channel, subscribe. Please subscribe. Ring that notification bell. You'll be notified whenever I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. And if you are not a member, I'm going to ask you to join and become a member. Like my man Rare Form just became a member. And all you have to do, you can look down at the bottom of this video. If you're on your phone, if you're on a computer, down at the bottom of the video, there's a join button. You can click that join button. All right, you can click that join button and join. All right, and when you click that join button, you'll get a chance to check out and see all of the, all of the perks that you get for joining. All right, there's 3 different tiers. You can become a member of the 2000 Knicks, $1.99 a month. A member of the 90s Knicks, it's $2.99 a month. Or a member of the 1970s NBA champion Knicks, it's $4.99 a month. Go ahead and check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Putting the link right here in the chat. So let me go ahead and talk about this pregame game preview really quick before I jump up out of here. The Knicks play tonight at 10 o'clock, and yes, it is a West Coast game. West Coast game, so it's a late game, 10 o'clock at the Motor Center in Portland. It'll be on MSG. It'll be on NBC SNW in Portland. You can listen to it on 98.5 in New York or Rip City Radio, 620 in Portland. The Knicks are 4-19 on the season. The projected starters for tonight, Frank Ntilikina, R.J. Barrett, Marcus Morris, Julius Randle, Taj Gibson. And if you were here earlier, you heard Mike Miller say he's not changing the starting lineup. He likes Frank Ntilikina at point guard, feels the team's been getting off to good starts. If you didn't get a chance, you can always go back and check it out. All right, injury report for the Knicks. Reggie Bullock, he has a neck, and we'll see if Wayne Ellington's going to play because he was out against Indiana with a sore Achilles. The Portland Trailblazers, they're 9-15. Their projected starters are Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, Kent Bazemore, Carmelo Anthony, Hassan Whiteside, Rodney Hood, he's out with an Achilles, and Nurkic, he's been out the entire season with a lower leg. Now, let's take a look at some of the numbers as we compare the teams. The Knicks are on a 9-game losing streak, and they don't want to make it 10. The Portland Trailblazers are on a 2-game losing streak. The Knicks average 100.6 points per game. They gave up 111 points per game. They shoot 42.1% from the field, 35.6% from three. They average 44.5 rebounds per game, 20 assists per game, and 14.9 turnovers per game. The offensive rating is 102. That's 30th in the league. Their defensive rating is 112.5. That's 24th in the league. Portland Trailblazers, they got a losing streak of their own. It's only 2 games, but they're on a 2-game losing streak. They average 112.7 points per game, but they gave up 115.4 points per game. They don't have that great of a defense. They shoot 45% from the field and 36.2% from three. They average 46.3 rebounds per game, 20.1 assists per game. They average 13.5 turnovers per game. Their offensive rating is 109.3. That's 10th in the league. And their defensive rating is 111.8. It's 22nd in the league. The Knicks really need to take advantage of playing against a weaker defense. For once. Key matchups. Frank Ntilikina defending against Damian Lillard. That's going to be key. Damian Lillard, 6'2", 195 pounds. Averages 26.7 points per game, 4.6 rebounds per game, 7.4 assists, and 1 steal. He shoots 44.3% from the field and 35% from three. Frank Ntilikina, he averages 6.4 points per game, 2.1 rebounds, 3.4 assists, and 1.3 steals per game. He shoots 38.3% from the field and 35.2% from three. But that's not what we're worried about with Frank Ntilikina. Obviously, people want him to score better. But we need him to play defense on Damian Lillard. We need Frank Ntilikina to keep Damian Lillard from going crazy. Listen, he's going to score points anyway. He's probably going to score 25, 26, 27 points anyway. But we need Frank Ntilikina to make it tough. Hopefully we keep it at a low shooting percentage. It's going to be important that we don't switch off. No switching tonight. We got to limit our switches. Only switch when it's really necessary. All right, so we need Frank Ntilikina to play good defense on Damian Lillard. Next matchup, C.J. McCollum and R.J. Barrett. C.J. McCollum, he's 6'3", 190. Averages 22 points a game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 3.8 assists, and just under 1 steal per game. He shoots 44.7% from the field and 38.7% from three. R.J. Barrett, he's 6'6", 214. Averages 14.3 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, 3.3 assists, just under 1 steal per game. He's shooting at 39.5% from the field, which is down from what he was doing earlier in the season. Of course, Coach Fizdale was using him for a lot of minutes. I'm not going to say that that's the reason why he's shooting this way, though. It's probably just because he's a rookie. He's also shooting 31% from three. But this is a good matchup for R.J. Barrett, I think. C.J. McCollum, he's crafty, finds way to score. He finds different ways to score. So R.J. Barrett's going to have to be on his game defensively. But R.J. Barrett's crafty too. He finds ways to score too. And he can keep the pressure on C.J. McCollum. He can make C.J. McCollum have to play defense. When you got a guy that can score, if you can make him play defense, hopefully you can use those legs. So then when you get into the fourth quarter, maybe they don't have enough power on the shot. Maybe they're shooting short, something like that. So R.J. Barrett could, put some pressure on C.J. McCollum to play defense. I like that. Let's look at the keys to the game. My keys to the game, that is. Number one, we need the Knicks to match the energy. This is me talking to the Knicks. I said match the energy you showed versus Indiana. That's me talking to the Knicks, right? So then I need them to match the energy they showed versus Indiana. Play with that same intensity. Play with the same intensity. If you got a chance to win this game, you're playing against a team that doesn't have that good of a defense. You got a chance to win. Got a chance to do it. We got to come out and play with that same energy. Limited switching. I just talked about it. We got to have limited switching. We can't switch all over the place with Damian Lillard getting, they switch off and all of a sudden Julius Randle is guarding Damian Lillard, or Julius Randle is guarding C.J. McCollum, or Taj Gibson is guarding one of those two guys. We'll be in trouble. We will be in trouble. So we need to limit our switches. Only switch when it's necessary. We need to help on Lillard and McCollum. It's going to be important that Frank Ntilikina, RJ Barrett, they know that if they get beat, they got somebody backing them up, and then somebody's backing up and helping the helper. Those are important items because this will allow Frank Ntilikina and RJ Barrett to play aggressive on-ball defense. Right? If they're worried that someone's not going to help them out, then they're going to play back a little bit, and then you're going to let those guys get comfortable. Get comfortable with the rhythm dribbles. Get comfortable pulling up the jump shot. You don't want that because then we're in trouble. Take advantage of a weaker defense. I mentioned this earlier. These guys are 22nd in the league. They'll let you score. They gave up 115 points per game. So let's move the ball. Undoubtedly, there's going to be holes in their defense if we move the ball. If we move the ball, we'll find holes in their defense. Ball movement. This is what I was just talking about. We got to move that basketball. Ball movement, man movement. Keep it moving. All right? And then do not fall in the ISO ball. This is a team that plays a lot of isolation basketball. Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum, Carmelo Anthony. They only average 20 assists per game. They are going to play ISO ball. We're trying to break that habit. We're trying not to play ISO ball. So let's not fall into playing ISO ball with these guys. Let's see if we can step outside of that. All right? Because they can, and if we start to play ISO basketball against them and we play their game, we're going to lose. We will lose that game 100% of the time. Because they just have better isolation players. So those are my keys to the game, ladies and gentlemen. So before I get out of here, I got like 2 minutes left before I get out of here. I want to say what's up to the guys that's in the video chat. All right, get these guys real quick to give me their take on tonight's game. And then I'm going to jump up out of here. All right? So, Andy, I'm going to come to you, then I'm going to come to Mark, and then I'm going to get out of here because you can see I got my coaching gear on. Right? And I got to get to the game. All right? So, Andy, real quick, man, what's your take on tonight's game?
Yeah, what's up, Sim? What's up, chat? Sim, I actually agree with every point you made on your scouting report. I'd add only maybe play a little bit more pick and roll when Whiteside is on the bench. I think we can really take advantage of the 1-4, 1-5, and even RJ playing in the pick and roll with Randall or with Mitch. I think that's going to be the key to the game because they have a really weak defense inside when Whiteside is on the bench. So I'd add 10, 12, 15, maybe 20 points from easy pick and rolls. And that's actually one of the keys that I was happy when I was watching the Pacers game. Only two first adjustments I saw from Mike Miller making to the Knicks was stop switching and adding a little bit more pick and roll and screen and rolls to the offensive game. That really made me happy, and those were the keys. And actually, you know what? I don't think we even need a W here. I think as long as we're gonna see Miller implement the real accountability and stop switching and stuff like that, the minor switches in the whole tactics of the current Knicks team, I think I'm going to be fine with it. I can take a loss because Portland, they're not a pretty good team, but they're beatable. But you can't expect from Miller to take over a team and start to get W's like 600 percentage wise and stuff like that. So he's not going to win 6 out of next 10 or stuff like that. And only one more thing, I think it's really bad luck for us, because if we had that Golden State game today and the Portland game tomorrow, I think we can actually pull this Golden State game out. But tomorrow we might be exhausted after this game because it's a back-to-back. That's tough luck for us. But like I said, I'm gonna be happy if I'm gonna see the things I saw and you put it out in the scouting report.
Okay. All right, good. Wish I had a little bit more time, but I do got to get to the game. So, Mark, I'm going to come to you real quick. Go ahead, Mark. Talk to me about it, man.
Me personally, I would put RJ in a lot of post-ups, dunks on like CJ Cole. A mismatch. I would get RJ a mismatch between Lillard and CJ in the post a lot because, again, the interior defense is trash without Whiteside. Even with Whiteside there from time to time, because watching Whiteside is like watching someone that don't even want to play basketball. Like, so he's not a factor to me when he's on the floor. Basically, I think when he's on the floor, it's a better chance teams to score because he's lazy. So I would put RJ in the post a lot amongst the guards. Find a lot of mismatch when it comes to their guards because the guards is too small to defend. So as I told you even from the beginning of the season, a lot of our points generated from the paint, and then our shots will open up. So personally, me, I would start in the post a lot with RJ. Get him percolating first because he's a rhythm player. I don't like to see him, throughout the game, get the ball and he don't get the ball. Start him out, scoring, low in the post. And I want to see a lot of pace too. Keep telling y'all, like the Knicks look better with pace instead of half-court sets because we're not a half-court team because we don't have half-court scorers that can make, tough shots with good defense on them. So, just play tough, run the pick and roll as I've been seeing last game. And just please limit the threes for Christ's sakes. Oh my God.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a tough task playing against these guys because CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard, they're going to shoot them. So
stick with the guards. If they score in the paint, cool. But don't give up the threes because when you give up the threes, it becomes a habit and they just don't guard it. So me personally, I would guard the threes more than I would guard inside the paint, like how they were trying to guard.
All right. Yeah. All right, bet. You got the Knicks getting a win tonight?
50-50. Because I do want to win and I don't want to lose, man. Because watching the game, we in the games, and then we had the chance to win. You get me hyped. I want the dub. I want the dub. How to coming on here.
I feel it. I know.
I want the dub. People think that I want them. No. I got plans for this team for the near future. I want to continue to look like crap.
All right, but let me get out of here, man. I got a game tonight. I got to get to the game. All right, I appreciate you guys for jumping on with me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for being here. I will be on tonight after the game. All right, the game starts at 10 o'clock. I'll be on after the game, but I gotta head up out of here because I gotta get to my own game. All right, so you guys be peaceful, and I'll see y'all later, man. I'm out of here. Peace.
That's the jig.